Hey guys, what's up? Got a bit of a theory video for you now. So if you're not familiar with the Freddy Krueger repertoire, the idea of it is that we want to play something similar to the Vienna Gambit when we have the black pieces, right, whenever possible. So in response to e4, we play e5, and then you generally have the most common moves, knight f3, knight c6, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to play f5 really on the next move, whatever happens. So if they play the Italian, then we play the Russo Gambit. If they play the Spanish, we play the Danish Gambit or Schliemann Defence. If they play the Ponziani, we play f5 again, the Ponziani counter gambit, and so on and so forth. There's even a version against the Scotch, which is kind of unusual, but is not that bad. All right, so why do we do this? Well, one reason is because we'll get patterns, attacking ideas, situations that will crop up in multiple different openings, right? Another reason is that we're trying to knock white out of his comfort zone as early as possible. Now, sometimes we will face the three knights. Now, on the Masters database, let's have a look. On the Masters database, the most common move by a mile with 91% is knight f6, going into the four knights, and that has a whopping 48% draw rate. 25% wins for white, 25, so 27 for white, 25 for black. Very, very dull, very drawish at the top level. So, knight f6 is also the most common move at the intermediate level. So I've got this set to 1800, 2000, 2200, blitz and up on Lichess. The second most popular move is bishop c5, as you can see here, then followed by d6, then bishop b4, actually pressuring the knight, and then finally with just 2% of moves we have this, pawn to f5, and this is known as the Winawer Defence against the three knights. So here we have three knights out. Now, because I was looking at the possibility of maybe developing like a chessable course on the Freddy Krueger repertoire, I was revisiting all of the lines, okay? And I wasn't happy with the Winawer. So I think what I've always done in the past, I think, was to bring the knight out. That was a bloody mosquito. Welcome. You will die. I actually got one with my mallet yesterday. I was carving a didgeridoo and one landed on my chest, so he got squished with a mallet. So that's very satisfying. So yeah, I wasn't always that happy from this. So we play this. Now usually they will take. d4 is the second most popular move, which is very good. You might also have bishop b5 now, or bishop c4 as well. Now, but the most common move here, and I think historically I've always played knight f6, which does do well. It's actually got a 50% win rate for black. Okay, but I might have found something better. So down here, played 0% of the time and only 28 games, we have the move knight g to e7. And that just looks all kinds of wrong. Let's see what Stockfish thinks. Stockfish has it as plus 1.6 now for white. However, in real life, 29 games, 76% win rate for black from here. Okay, so I've made an alternative study. So let me take you through the main lines from this position. So this is all assuming that they accept the offered pawn on f5. There are many ways to decline it. But if they do, let me show you some variations, because you might play the Freddy Krueger repertoire yourself, you might be interested. Okay, d4 is the number one move. This is played 31% of the time. And we have to take the pawn on d4. Okay, then if the knight comes out, we trade everything off, and now comes kind of the point of knight g to e7, right? Because we can capture this pawn now with tempo against the queen. Stockfish still has it at plus 1.5 for white. They will normally come to here. We will then block with the queen, and let's say bishop d3 is the most common move. And this is already like super rare. This has only been seen once, okay? But you can push c6. We can aim for the center. They castle. We build a center. and happy days, it's +1, okay? But you can prepare this, and obviously white will never have seen this in his life. Okay, let's look at the second combination. So c4, e5, knight 3, knight c6, 3 knights. Okay, and now we play the Winawer. In fact, the computer here just has it as 0-0. It says you should play the knight out to f6, and you'll probably draw. And he's probably right. But that's not what we're about. We want to enjoy playing chess. Okay, so we do this, they take knight e7, right? Second most common move is pawn to f6, just pushing. You just take the pawn. And it's back to zeros again. Complete zeros. d4 is the most common move. This position has been reached only twice at the strong intermediate level, and black has won both games. You just grab the centre with d5, and you play on, right? In every line, unless they play de, black is actually slightly better already, okay? So, I know this isn't the most exciting or inspiring line, but I thought you might want to know, so we're doing it. All right, the 3 knights, the Winawer Defence accepted, knight e7. Third most common move is bishop to c4, going to the Italian position. And we can here simply strike straight out. The knight, doesn't matter whether it's on f6 or e7, controls this square, so does our queen, so we have 2 defenders on there. We can strike with tempo straight at the centre. Okay, now you lift your queen, they bring out their queen, you kick the bishop, and it's actually slightly better here for black in every line. So it's all looking good so far, you know. So it looks like this knight's really in the bishop's way. But maybe we'll recapture a pawn, maybe we'll long castle and start throwing these pawns up the board. You know, bishops can hang. Bishops are good at hanging, don't worry. Okay, fourth most common move. After the accepted line, 3 knights, Winawer accepted, bishop b5, okay? The Spanish variation, let's call it. Okay, now this is just a bit better for white. But you can go ahead and you can recapture the pawn. If they trade, you capture towards the centre with the b-pawn, right? Most common move, they'll grab here. And now, queen to g5 targets this. And basically what they have to do now is they must castle. Queen g4 is also playable, but if neither of those is played, it's an absolutely equal position. Okay, so I'm not saying this is the the magic bullet for the Winawer. Otherwise, guess what? Top players will be playing it. So this is the Kruger repertoire. We fly by the seat of our pants. Okay, there's one other little variation that you might want to know, which is knight to h4. And this isn't bad. You can actually just push g6. If it takes, we have a discovery against the knight. Okay, and it's now 0.9 in white's favour. The best move here is actually g3. But knight to f3 is the only move that's been played, and it's it's pretty equal now, actually. So we can push d5, go straight for the centre, and we have an equal position. So there you go, the knight ge7 variation of the Winawer Defence accepted. Just want to remember. I think it gives us a fighting chance, and because it makes the Winawer maybe slightly less dubious. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you later.